everybody. We're here at the first Las Cruces Writers Group book signing, hopefully the first of many. And the first thing I'd like to do is thank our gracious host. Everybody say hi to George. Say hi, George.
Hi, Rachel. How are you today?
I am good. George Pintar, you are the author of several different really awesome books. Do you want to tell us anything about them?
Oh, yes. I can tell you about Chili Charlie. Chili Charlie is a fictitious character who came from Illinois when his name was Paragrass Pete, but he got stopped in Clovis by the police department because he was selling Illinois chilies, and that's against the law. When he was in jail for 6 months, they finally decided to let him out. When they let him out, what do you think he did? He had to change his dress to a cowboy. He had to change his mode of transportation from a tractor to a El truck. And he had to change his whole perspective of what he was going to do. So Chili Charlie is somebody who's going to be famous the world over.
It sounds really exciting. I know Chili Charlie is my favorite of your little characters. I love hearing about Chili Charlie. But you also have a whole array of books here, George. It's a nice little selection for everybody to see. That's neat names for neat books. This is one that you have recently advertised on Facebook and Twitter. And here is our Chili Charlie. And he's going, and who do we have here? Can I say hello? Hello? That's it? I'm not a writer. That's okay, you can still say hello, you're here supporting us. Are you wanted in any states? Are you wanted in any states?
No, I'm not wanted in any state, as far as I know.
Oh, that's always a good thing. We're going to go ahead and meet a few other authors. Let's see who's available aside from the elusive Tim Markets who's hiding in the corner. He's not a Las Cruces writer, but he is the author of The Demon Squad. He did come out here to show his support for New Mexico authors. So, say hi.
Hi.
And thank you for your support. He's one of my favorite people, so I appreciate him being here. And who else do we have? Would you like to say hello?
Hi there.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Tanya Dawson. I'm the only author here who hasn't been published yet.
Well, we should probably go take a look at your table then.
Okay, that'd be nice.
Because there's some interesting stuff over here on Tanya's table. She even has her own little ad over here. I'm serious, this thing is awesome. How cool is that? Let me see, it's probably not. Let me see about figuring out. I'm going to figure this thing out. She is the author of Anderson Light. It is a Mystic Creek novel and coming soon, so keep your eye out for that. You can find her also on various social media. And, there's a nice workbook she has on her table called Storytelling for Pantsers. If you don't know what a pantser is, I am a pantser. There's pantsers and there are plotters. Plotters are people who take their stories and they line them up and how it's going to be every single chapter, and they know exactly what's going to happen. And then there are people like me who fly by the seat of our pantses. Pantses? I said pantses. We don't know exactly where the story is going, but we know it's going somewhere. Now here is another one of our local authors. Would you care to introduce yourself, sir?
Hello, I'm David Osterhout. I'm the author of Oink, Only in Korea. It is a story about the DMZ in Korea. I was an intelligence officer for a year, stationed on the DMZ, and this is the results of it.
It's a really interesting read. You all should go ahead and treat yourselves. What else do you have here for us?
I've got a few pen name authored books that I did. They're romances, 2 of them on the erotic side, and one of them that is a little more mainstream, if you like, romance, suspense thriller, called Love at the French Station. The other 2, The Sunset Girl is not a bad, it's got a few dirty words in it. It's got a lot of dirty words in it. And The One, the Only, the Amazing is another one. It's a story about a man from his early teens to his death that can give women orgasms just by looking.
Magic Mike has nothing on this guy.
It is really a sexual tragedy. It's not an erotic book at all. It's a sad story.
Oh,
I've got a couple of books here from my good friend Barbara Gomez that she said I'd put on my table if you're interested. Dead Sugar Daddies, and this one is kind of a strange book, but if you'd like to read, go ahead. It's called Illusions. It's a strange book. This one's better. Buy it right here. Dead Sugar Daddies. I also have one book from my brother, Schnoz of the Rings. It's a satire on Lord of the Rings. It's a pretty good book, too. That's what I have today.
that's awesome. Thank you so much, David. Thank you for being here. And just take a quick glance at this table. Sorry, once again, I haven't quite figured out how to turn this camera around. I am not savvy. I will autograph it. Give me 2 shakes, because I have 2 other very special people I'd like to introduce to the wonderful world of social media before hold on. She's helping me figure this out. No. It's okay. We'll figure it out. Thank you, though. Oh, I see it. I see it. Look, it's that little button right there. Oh, hi. Say hi. Hello. To them, that is, not to me.
Right.
Well, now you can't see yourself talking. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I would. My name is Mary Armstrong, and I am the author of this lovely book, which is The Messiah. It is book 1 of the Two Valleys saga. And the book is about the 10 years leading to the infamous Fountain murders. And it's told by a fictional nephew of Colonel Phil Fountain, who journeys from his home in Mexico to become a junior partner in the Fountain law firm, and he reads law with the Colonel and is there to witness all of the events that happen over those 10 years that lead to the fateful day when the Colonel and his 8-year-old son were murdered.
That sounds fascinating. Y'all are going to have to come and check this out.
Well, I hope so. It's going to be at least a 5-book series.
See, you got a lot to look forward to, people of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and whoever else I plan on posting this, YouTube, etc. It's going to go everywhere, I hope. Hi!
Hi, I'm Gerald Otis,
He is.
and I am. And
What do you have
I've
for us
written
today?
these 4 books. This is my first effort, and it's a story about a biography of the bank teller who was shot by the Jesse James back in 1976 in Northfield, Minnesota. Great Northfield bank robbery.
Interesting.
And in the process of writing this book, I ran across another character. It was the person who enlisted him in the Union Army. And his name was Adoniram Judson Burroughs. And he's the person in this book, a historical novel, that was murdered by his jealous lover in the Treasury Building in Washington, D.C.
Interesting. That's fascinating.
And this one is an expose. A friend of mine was called off to a mental hospital and given a person who took care of his affairs. And it was all illegitimate. I followed him step by step through the whole process, trying to get him freed. Finally, we found a psychiatrist in one facility who said this guy doesn't belong here, and he was set free, but he still had a conservator who took control of all his money and assets.
Awesome.
And
That sounds fascinating.
finally they killed him. So it's a tragedy.
I do love a tragedy, though. You do realize I write about killing people, right?
Oh, really?
So, yes, I kill millions of people in my books. So you talk about killing people and you see a smile on my face, that's why.
Oh, very good.
Yes, a little morbid, but that's my thing. Gerald, I am so glad
And
you're here
this
with
is
us.
the
Spinal, and I'm a clinical research psychologist.
Oh,
And I
so
wrote this book on, it's a 50-year follow-up study of physicians that we studied at the University of New Mexico back in the 1970s.
that's very interesting. You are quite the prolific writer.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, this looks really great. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you.
I'm just going to sweep the room so everybody can see. And for Sarah, please, I know you're worried about the sound quality. I have an editor on my phone that will fix that, and when it gets posted, you will be able to see and hear properly. And for those of you who are not yet on your way, I got you a little something, little sneak peek. Little sneak peek. Ooh, yummy. Ooh, lovely. Don't you just wish you were here? Well, anyway, that was our little group. It's only 5 of us here today of a much larger writing group in New Mexico. And if you can make it out today, we are here from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Las Cruces Courtyard by Marriott. Hope to see you all here, and stay tuned for other possible videos. Bye-bye.